Okay, it's been a while since the webcam. Last one was Jeff Hardy suspension. I did do one on WrestleMania 24 results that was taken down for copyright infringement. So apparently if you do a results for pay-per-view the night of the pay-per-view, and you put it on YouTube as opposed to just leave it on your wrestling website, Vince will come after you. But, whatever. But pretty much this is about wrestling fans in general. Okay, it sucks to be a wrestling fan. Everyone goes, oh, heard about that guy who killed his family. Wasn't he a wrestler? Oh, man, all of us are dying young. Oh, or this, that, and the other thing. Oh, are you into wrestling event? Oh, it's fake, right? And we go, yeah. We know we're not five. We figure out that if you hit someone in the head with a steel chair, or you slam a sledgehammer into someone's skull, you know what? You're going to kill them. We're aware of this. We figured it out quite some time ago. So you have the stigma from the outside, for people who just don't get why you watch it. You go, it's a male soap opera, people don't get why women will spend, or sometimes men, will spend hours of their lives watching soap operas when nothing really happens. But to them, it's intense, it's entertaining, and that's what wrestling is for us. It has in-ring psychology, it's physical, it's enjoyable, it's what we like. Some people watch regular sports, we watch sports entertainment. Now, as we deal with on the outside, media scrutiny, the steroid thing, all this crap, But it's almost worse on the inside. I quit watching TNA after the Dudleys lost to the Motor City Machine Guns. They had weigh-ins before all their matches. I went, okay, the Dudleys are one of the most decorated tag teams of all of professional wrestling history, and now they're kind of in like joke feuds. And at that time, Joe still wasn't the champion, and Joe wasn't near to be the champion. He was doing things with Kevin Nash, and I just went, I'm done with TNA. But what really drilled the nail in for TNA was the fans. I'm glad you enjoy the product, you like the product over, that's fantastic. Do what you need to do, but you gotta remember, sometimes TNA puts on a crappy show. They do matches that are confusing and make almost no sense. Reverse battle royals are crap. Reverse battle royals into like an elimination match into another match. No, it's just confusing, it looks stupid, it sounds stupid, you get a bunch of people together in a match and it turns out to be the drizzly shit. Period. I used to go to Ring of Honor events. I live in Chicago. Near Chicago. It got to the point where I'd go to Ring of Honor event and the fans were just so negative towards anything not Ring of Honor. They're like, oh man, TNA sucks, they stole Joe, they stole Daniels, yada 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 yada. Oh man, Vince's company sucks, he can't put a good match to save his life, they stole Punk, they stole Seidel, they stole, you can't fault someone for wanting to make a living. You can't, sorry. And it's like, okay, yeah, currently the WWE product isn't that great. Look through some old DVDs, you see it goes through some cycles. We had like really great wrestling in 2001, 2, and 3. And then it kind of began to slowly peter off in 4. It was pretty decent in 5. 6, you started to go down a little bit. 7 was pretty horrible. 8's working to be okay. But you can't be at an indie event and talk about, I thought Raw was pretty good this week. Because you get treated like a leper. Apparently, if you're not a fan of Japanese wrestling in some obscure company, you're not a wrestling fan in the eyes of wrestling elitists. So you deal with it from the outside with people who don't get it. And then if you're beyond the casual fan and you go to an indie event and you make a comment about, oh, I think so-and-so did a pretty good match, or, The Miz is actually becoming an entertaining wrestler. If people could spit on you, they almost would. And you kind of go, dude, it's all wrestling. Do I hate John Cena? Yeah, I hate John Cena. Did I used to watch ECW? Yeah. Do I not watch it now? Yeah. Do I not watch SmackDown because it's on Friday? Yeah. And normally, not a damn thing happens on SmackDown. Period. I watch Raw. That's about it. Giving up on Impact, giving up on ECW, giving up on SmackDown. I'll hit Ring of Honor every now and then, but I'm going to hit it every time now. That leaves me with Raw, the big 4 pay-per-views, and Shimmer. Because with Shimmer, it's women's wrestling, and it's really good women's wrestling. You get some elitist fans, but they also realize that there's nowhere near as much penetration with women's wrestling. Not a pun, I'm talking about mainstream appeal. It's just not there, so if you don't know as much, it's understood, because you really can't find that much about it unless you knew about it ahead of time. So, from my standpoint, as fans, we need to kind of lay off a little bit on being as hard on each other as we are sometimes, I'm an H mark, so yeah, I eat a lot of crap for being an H fan. I do. I get used to it and I go, whatever, I like him, I like Flair, Flair begot H, just the way that it is. And I try to not fault younger wrestling fans for being caught up with John Cena. The older fans, yeah. If you're a younger fan, you can't be like, oh man, stupid little kids don't get, they love John Cena. Uh-huh. And when we were growing up, chances are we were probably a Hulkamaniac. Probably part of the Warrior Nation. We bought into it too. We bought into one character who was over-marketed, who was limited in the ring. Some of us could have been Stone Cold Steve Austin. I hated Stone Cold Steve Austin. I still do. I hated The Rock. Wasn't a big fan of Hogan. Wasn't a big fan of Savage. Wasn't a big fan of Warrior. But at the very least, I have to respect what it is they did in the ring. But I think from a fan standpoint, if we can be not nice, just not toxic hatred to each other, I think we might actually be able to bring in more fans and get people to understand us more. But, that's just all I've really got.